What's good, people? Welcome another week. Listen, I promise y'all I'm live this week. It's not pre-recorded. I'm here live in the flesh. I was gone last week having some fun with the family. So welcome back. We got a big show tonight. So let me explain it before I get into it. I was literally on the cusp of either not doing the show or it was a long day. And in the 11th hour, we got the call from Coach Woodie that he would be available. He's really busy today, the recruiting and all that stuff going on. And so he has graciously lent us some time to speak with him tonight. And so I'm really excited to have him join us tonight. He'll be calling in, I think, at around 8:10 or so. And so we just are going to do our regular run of the show until he joins in, and as soon as he calls in, we gonna get him set up, and then we're gonna get right to it because we got a lot to talk about, and we've got plenty of I know people are gonna have plenty of questions to ask him about last week, about the state of the football program, and so someone that I have joining me that is gonna help kind of drive the conversation tonight is our friend over at Head Wildcats, Mr. Darrell Williams. He'll be joining us really here in a moment. I'm just going to I'm going to try to fly through the stories for the day because it's a couple that I need to touch, and I just want to make sure that when Coach joins us, that we have you've got ample time to talk to him. I don't know how long we'll have him. We decided earlier, 20 minutes ish. So we'll see. He may grant us more time, but we're going to respect his time because I know it's a busy period for him. If y'all are there in the comments, I would love to hear from you. I couldn't do comments last week because the show was pre-recorded. But what's up? I see Chantel in there. What's up? What's up, sis? What's up, Bobby? How you doing, man? And who is this? Dr. Evelyn. Is that Dr. Evelyn Bethune? If that's you, hello. And Mr. Willie Wilkinson, how you doing? Thank you for joining tonight. And everybody else that's going to join, please make sure if you have not subscribed to our channel, please do so. That would be great. And before we get into it, I have to give our sister Chantel and her company a little bit of love since they've been our sponsor for the last few weeks. Probably been about a month and a half now. So let's go ahead and jump into that, and then we'll jump into the real deal. It's about time for flavor. If you are craving the best wings, irresistible desserts, or the freshest lemonade in town, About Time Food Truck has all of that and more, fast, fresh, just for you. Visit About Time Food Truck and be sure to ask for Chantel or Lex to hook you up with your new favorite flavors. Follow them on the hottest eats on the move because great food awaits no one. About Time Food Truck, good food, good times, good people. You can find them on IG, About Time Jacks, and on Facebook, About Time Food Truck. And it appears we've got a call in from the coach himself. So, y'all, we're going to do the remainder of the show after we get done talking to Coach Woodie because he's called us, and I want to make sure we give him ample time to talk about what he wants to talk about. We got some questions. And so, yeah, let's go ahead and pull Darrell in, and let me see if I got this right. We got everybody. There we go. What's up, Coach?
How you doing?
Man, listen, I'm good. I'm great. How are you doing? I know it's been a crazy last week and a half for you ever since our win down in Orlando. So how you holding up? How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm happy for the team. Obviously we ended on a great note and just getting ready for recruiting. My old boss, he always said, he's the assistant head coach, running backs coach for the Baltimore Ravens. He said, hey, recruiting is just like brushing your teeth, combing your hair. If you stop, you start to look bad.
Yep. Yeah, it's every day. It's all day, and you got guys that I know you are going after. I saw, and I'm gonna let Darrell jump in, and we'll be just tag teaming on some questions. I saw a couple of guys I think on Twitter that entered the portal. How do you feel when you see guys, that were integral to the team, decide to part ways? And obviously, some of them are parting ways because they had a really good year under your leadership. So I guess that's kind of bittersweet to see certain players leave or whatnot. So how do you feel about that?
Well, nowadays it's just the business we in,
Yeah,
and I'm happy for those guys. Those guys did great for us, and I wish them the luck. I wish them the best of luck, honestly. Those individuals that went in, good thing they called and they did it the right way,
good.
so I wish them the best.
Excellent, excellent. All right, let me go back. Let's go back to about what's the day? It's Tuesday. Let's go back about 9 days and go back to Saturday night before Thanksgiving down in Orlando. We were playing a great first half and a dominant first half for the most part. And then you saw kind of what happened in the second half, and FAMU does that thing, and the thing that we do to them, in this game, and you make it a game. We make it a Florida Classic, and so when you guys are drawing up that last play, was that a drawn up play or was that a busted coverage?
Well, no, it was, obviously, Coach Pimp and I, I'm offensive coordinator. We put these guys in situations all day, every day, and it's all about situational ball. And it was 4th and 8, and we had 10 personnel out there, and we basically ran we call it sticks. The inside receivers ran to the sticks, and then outside receivers did a stick and go. So when you have your two really good football players, Malik and Javon Ross, they're in the slot and they run to the chains. They know right now. The defense know that, hey, we better converge on those guys, and they did that. And then we ended up having an outside guy. Two of them ran to the sticks, and then they went and ran the goal. And Timmy did a great job of looking, the number one off and eyeing the safeties, and then seeing that, hey, you know what, that corner came off, which he should have stayed in coverage, and we ran down the sideline wide open, and Evans caught it, and we scored. But at the end of the day, I got to give credit to the coaches and then also the players, and knowing that we put them in situations every day, whether it's 2-minute drill, whether it's biked up, whether it's third and long, second and long. I mean, obviously, Dara, he's out there and he understands, and we do that, and he knows that's the truth.
It was the
Yeah,
perfect. I swear it was the perfect play call. I mean, in that, considering where we were, it's fourth down. You almost you you're thinking, and in my mind, I'm like, there's no way they're going for the end zone. I'm like, they're gonna try to get a first down or get
first down.
closer and kick a field
Right,
goal. So it was
right.
the perfect play call. I'm gonna pass over to Daryl. What you got, man?
Coach, great season.
Thank you.
Definitely, yes, sir. Definitely love to keep it going. And just on that last play, what was in your mind? I know, I think that's the first time you call sticks maybe this year.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, in those situations, I mean, really, it was
right,
chains. Everybody's going to the chains, and you have your two best players, high percentage guys that's going to make the play inside, and then you have your outside guys that they may take a glance and look off, and now all of a sudden you see those guys open up, and we made that throw, and the ball was called, and it was history after that. But we still had time. I shouldn't say it was history
right.
because they still had an opportunity to come back and win the game, and we did what we normally do in those type of 2-minute situations. We wanted everybody deep, play the ball in front and tackle, and we had an opportunity to put our defense out there, and they sealed the game.
Most definitely, Coach. Coming off 6-win season, how do you feel going forward? What was your thought process? I know we ran into each other after the game by the buses. What was your thought process? I know how you are, so it's immediately like that clock hits 0-0-0. It's on to next season and doing what you need to do to recruit. And I know we recruit before,
Right.
of course, the Florida Classic. So What's going on right now as far as the football team is concerned? What's the next step? What's the next process?
Well, right now, obviously we have to finish strong in the classroom. We don't want anyone ineligible. We want to make sure that we capitalize on that because that's how we got our APR to where it's at today, not being on probation. So sometimes people forget about recruiting, but we got to recruit our players on campus in the classroom and then obviously on the field. So that's where my mind is at, and then filling holes on some of the
Definitely,
guys, that left, and then obviously some of the guys that's returning, adding more depth so iron sharpens iron so we can have a competitive
definitely.
type situation.
Most definitely, coach. Most definitely. And as I know a lot of our fans have seen, we have had quite a few commitments that will be hopefully signing with us on tomorrow. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Well, not really the names per se, but we
Right.
should have nine, and the majority of those guys, they're from all over the place, from Florida, Alabama, down south, Mississippi, and we're really excited about those individuals that's going to join with us. Right now, all we have to do is just wait until tomorrow and get the signature, and then it'll be official. But we're excited about our class. We're recruiting guys that want to be at BCU. That's what it is. I mean, we're not chasing
Definitely.
ghosts. We know our need, and that's why they call us coach. We got to be good developers, especially at this level. And these days it's really is about pay to play, but we have a different philosophy. We got to teach.
I was going to say that, Coach. That's that three-letter word that we we run away from. But in the grand scheme of things, I know old school, like we had it, it was just happy to have a scholarship to come to school.
Right.
What does, and I know you've been one of the top recruiters and remain one of the top recruiters in the nation, but w- how much does NIL factor into college football these days?
Oh, it's the time we're in now. It's everything, And like I said, I don't disagree. Players getting paid, but a lot of this is just ridiculous. I don't. At the end of the day, you got to be real careful, because honestly, it can change the synergy of the team. One guy getting
It could.
paid this and no one else is getting paid, and all of a sudden, it's a problem. So yeah, I think you
Right.
have to be smart. You have to be strategic. When you're issuing out that, and I'm proud of our administration. They're making a push to get things set up. So at least we can offer these guys something. But at the end of the day, blame no one, make no excuses. We got to get the job done.
I'm sorry. Let me jump in there. That was going to be my next question in terms of the current our apparatus when it comes to NIL. I don't want you to like you don't. I know we lack on some things, but I guess do you feel like we're doing what is necessary to be able to compete with say our peers in NIL, or do you think maybe there's still some room for opportunity there?
Well, I tell you what, with the new president, Dr. Mosley, and then obviously our AD Reggie Theus, they're making a push, and it's good too that Coach Theus is the basketball coach. He's in sporting, and he knows that in sports these days, what it takes. So that's a good thing that we're treading in the right direction, and I can tell you this, things are getting better.
Good,
Definitely.
good.
Definitely.
Can I jump in, Daryl?
Yeah, sure, man.
I
It's your
got it.
show, bro. I'm just I'm just
So,
here.
nah, it's all good. So I have a question that I, I think a lot of people are interested in it, and it's going back a couple of years. This will be your third year. Can we
Yes,
go
sir.
back to 20? I'm because I like to get insight on this. Can we go back to what it was like from the day you got hired at Bethune Cookman? What was it like in between like the day you got hired and say like spring camp? Because I think some people think that when we hired you back in 2023 that you had enough time to go and recruit, and I was like, I don't think you had really any time to recruit. I think you kind of had to go and pick over kind of what was there and left over. So
Yes.
Hmm.
like what was that like in 2023 when you first got on campus in terms of like state of the team?
Um, all different directions. It was, like I said before, coming in, players, they want to wear their own colors. They didn't understand on time mean late. I had to come in and make a whole statement of establishing the standard, and a lot of some of the great, well, in their minds, they they didn't remain. They tried the process, and the process got them, and they ended up going, other places, and signing date had already appeared, so I didn't have a chance to go out and get the guys that I felt like could help this program right away. And don't get me wrong, former coach did the best that he could do, but I walked into a situation not knowing who was on the roster, and then the new guys that signed not knowing what they could do until after I got there.
Right,
So
right.
it was pretty chaos.
Yeah,
But I thank God for that, because sometimes you have to go through the storm to get where you at to this day.
yeah, and so that brings me to my next question, and probably the biggest question. And let me say this: you can answer this, or we allow one deferral on our show. You can defer the question and say, you know what, I don't think I'm gonna answer, but I'm gonna ask you because I know it's on everybody's mind. This is year three.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people are wondering. It's been kind of quiet on the contract talks. Do you do you where is that at, if it's anywhere, and can you comment on it?
Well, you know what? I can say this. I trust my administration. I'm not in the transfer portal right now, so that should tell you
You
something.
said- yeah, it's a good answer.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's fair. That's fair, and because I
Okay.
know, I think, I think I can probably speak for a lot of us that say we've been happy with the progress, especially this year. Last year people were maybe a little bit worried because there was actually regression from a 3-win season to a 2-win season. So rightfully
Yeah.
so, like the fan base is like what's happening, right? But this year, which to me is the year we should start to judge, and we should start to say, okay, like really, like how well of a coach is Coach Wood. And I think this year you proved that you got the ship going in the right direction. So I think a lot of us are pretty thankful for the progress the team in all facets, education, like academics, structure, and then just team play and being competitive. So I think I speak for everybody when I say we are happy in the play. And listen, you beat fam, even on bad years. Listen, you beat fam. That's a
Right.
good thing. So
Right.
I'm gonna pass to back to
Thank you,
Daryl.
Stephen.
Yeah. Hmm.
Coach, the fan base saw a side of you that they didn't know that you possibly had, and that
Hmm.
was post game in locker rooms after
Yeah.
wins. We saw that on the field for the classic, but for those who were in traffic or did not see it, um, what was that jubilation like to you? And I've heard plenty of the fans say, "I know Coach Woody had it in him." Of course, I
Hmm.
I, I know, but what was that like for you in year three? And I know you've kind of answered the question a little bit, but just tell us how you truly felt about the season and the wins and the success that you had.
Well, like I said again, very excited, for this program, the players, community, alumni. I mean, obviously, we had a lot of firsts, 6-6. I mean, since most wins since 2019, undefeated at home, 4-1 the SWAC, since 2018, first victory over Southern in 7 years, first Florida Classic win since 2019, finished
Homecoming.
second in the Yep, finished second in the SWAC, passing 28th FCS, finished first in the SWAC for kickoff returns, led by Javon Ross, first in FCS. So it's been a lot of firsts, and it feels good to win. and these players, man, they went through so much, especially these seniors, who
Definitely.
I inherited, and they decided to stay, just to see where we at now. We still have a lot of work to do, and the guys understand that. Hey, you know what? BCU is back, and we're back in the SWAC, and we're looking to be, the best, right now. Why we stop here? I mean, we use everything that we needed to use to get us where we're at today. Now it's time to take the next step.
Most definitely, coach. And I asked you a question earlier about being, remaining one of the top recruiting uh, guys throughout the nation, and that's been everywhere uh, you've been. There's a question in the comments section which asks, Coach, in your recruiting visits, what do you tell the parents about mentoring as it's greatly tied to life success?
Well, I tell them that's huge, and I just honestly, I just be myself. And when you're genuine, and they understand that it's not about just football, it's about life. A lot of these parents, they feel very comfortable because they know that we're in this business to build men, but also win too. And I think if you build the ground up and you do it the right way, then those wins eventually come. And that's why taking over this program, I saw a need because you had a lot of selfish players, and now a lot of them are
Hmm.
selfless, and it's all about we and not me. So just just talking to the parents and just looking at them in the eyes, and telling them, hey, this is what it's all about. Building, we build student athletes at BCU.
I,
Definitely. Go ahead. See.
s- what was it like um, with having to juggle both Cam Ransom and Timmy McClain, like having to juggle the job because those were two starkly different players, and they both gave you two different looks when they were on the field.
Hmm.
And so, how did you manage both of those guys? Manage both of the? I'm sure they both had egos. QBs always have egos, right? But how do you
Right,
ma- how do
right.
you manage that with young guys and getting them both to number one, stay ready, and then stay locked in. When the team, because they know that the team is going to need them at some point.
Well, just being honest with them from day one, and a lot of times, you get complacent when you look behind you, you don't see no one there. But our whole goal is to recruit, 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 and iron sharpens iron, and
Yeah,
just letting them know that, hey, you know what, we can win with both of you. It's just who's going to show up, who's going to be consistent, and those are
When
the
it's
guys
time
that
comes.
we're going with. And as a head coach, I have to make a decision because, I tell the guys all the time, film don't lie. We're not going to give you anything. Life doesn't work that way.
yeah,
People trying to take my job. I have to compete. I have to show up. If I don't show up, then I lose my job. If you have a job, you have to keep a job. So we tell them all the time, we go down the script, we look at the pluses and the minuses, and we talk to them and we grade them every day. And that's why I mentioned to the coaches, you have to, it's called evidence. You can't just say, hey, I'm gonna play this person because I like them, because that person can get you beat, I get you fired.
yeah. What I thought was really cool about uh, Timmy McLean is if you go back to I think when his first SWAC start against South Carolina State, and
Yes.
he had a couple of turnovers right there at like I think it was the first drive. I think he either fumbled or something on that first drive, and we turned the ball over. And then to see him book in the year with that play was kind of like a bit of I would hope it would have been a redemptive moment for him to
Yes.
just be like, just keep playing, bro. Like, that was a mistake. You had a bad moment, and here in the biggest game of the year, like you tossed. I mean, I actually thought he underthrew that pass. He underthrew Josh Evans a little bit,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
but
Yeah, so
still,
you,
touchdown
yeah,
is a touchdown. And
right.
I thought that was a cool moment for him, considering what had happened in that not it was South Carolina State game. I think that's not I said SWAC, but South Carolina State. So
Yes, yes, sir.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he's a man, and it's so funny you say that, Steve, because he is the definition of a selfless person. I mean, if you watch
Definitely.
game to game, how he encourages teammates, including Cam, and so, I'm so happy for him. And, it's funny, I just left the school and he's out there throwing with some of the younger guys. He doesn't have to be there. He's already graduated, he's already passed all his classes, and just to see him give back to the program because he's officially done. And those are the type of lessons and type of players that we want on this football team. And we knew coming in that it was going to be a battle. I mean, he really competed and graded high during camp, and it was one of them deals where we had to make a decision. And at least people know coming into this program, you're going to get treated fairly. I mean, it's not just talk, and I think that's what happens, when you get in those homes or you recruiting those young men and you have the parents and the grandma and the whole family, and they can, a lot of these, they can read through, crap, they can read through if you realize you're not real. And I think that's what
Hmm.
we have going, with our staff. I say, one thing about it, guys, we have to be truthful, we have to be honest. And I learned that, from not just being a head coach in high school, but, going to the collegiate level with Coach Taggart. He'd always say, hey, you know what? Let those guys know exactly who we have, what we have, and don't tell them they can start right away. That's so wrong. They have to compete. They got to want to be great. They got to go and take somebody's job. And that's what we tell them. And we utilize them and say, hey, you know what? We want them to graduate with a degree. And they're going to graduate if they want to graduate because we're going to have all the resources, to do so. So those are the little things. No magical wand that I tell these parents. I mean, from Oregon to Florida State to South Florida to FAU to West Kentucky to Temple. I mean, God has blessed me to be one of the tops in the country. And that's what I tell them. It's no magic wand that I do. I'm just honest and genuine with them.
That's good. I'm gonna take so we gonna take a page out of the Hell Wildcats Gridiron Show, and so somebody has a question, and they said, "How would you grade the team as a whole this year?" And they do their grading every week. Hell Wildcat Show, a Gridiron Show on Thursday night show with Daryl and the rest of the guys. Just a little plug there. But how would you grade this team this year as a whole this year? And that was a question from an alum.
I would grade them above average. I mean, at the end of the day, the progression that we've made due to the circumstances, coming into APR restrictions, not being able to practice for 2 days, getting cut hours. I mean, I thought the guys, did really well. Now, couple situations where we turn over the ball, and that's my main goal. You got to take care of the ball and you got to stop the run. I mean, we fell short in a couple of those situations. We could have been competing for a conference title, but we didn't. But I take what the players and the coaches put out there on film, and we're excited. So I would say above average.
So when you say above average,
Hmm.
is that a C plus or a B minus? It's a
I
big
said
difference.
it's a B minus.
Okay, all right. I like B minus. All right, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh
All right,
yeah.
I'm gonna take one more question. This is from Brother Roll. He says, "Question for Coach: Outside of FAMU, which SWAC school is your most exciting yet nerve-wracking school to play? Which school is your revival as far as gameplay?" I'm not sure if I understand the last part, but I guess outside of fam, like, what school do you kind of look at like got to go beat them?
Jackson State.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Yeah.
I think that's probably
Yeah.
the only answer right now, and maybe Alabama State, but Jackson State for sure.
Yeah. And
Right.
they're number two.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I'd agree. Daryl, anything else? And how much more time do we got? Another 5 minutes with you, coach?
Yes, yes, yes. I'm up all night.
Oh, okay, cool, cool.
And that's a true story.
I believe. Well, it's that time of year for you, man. So I get it.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second, Daryl. Can you tell me? So it is December 2nd now. What is the rest of the year look like for you?
Well, going into January, you're saying the rest of this year.
Rest of
Uh,
the up to January, yes.
Recruiting, we got the state championship down at FIU, and that's going to be from Wednesday to Saturday. And after that, Christmas break, recruiting, making sure my coaches and everyone is aligned to going into the new year, because it's going to be huge. And with this transfer portal, with us as the university starting that first week on the 7th, we don't have a whole lot of time. So it's going to be a lot of organization on who we can get in, based on who we sign and who we going after, because it's no time for rest. So, like I say, I'm literally up every night all day, researching, looking for players and doing, because the big thing is people don't realize if you at a level where you see growth to take that next step, you got to make sure that you don't bring in bad locker room
Oh yeah.
guys,
Oh yeah.
and it takes a lot of research. It takes a lot of talking with different people that you can trust, that you done coached against, or you done coached on that same side, and them being honest with you, so it's going this next 2.5 to 3 weeks going to be really, really crucial, to take our program to that next level.
Understood. Daryl.
Yeah, Coach. It's a two-part question. First,
Okay.
if and I think there's quite a few recruits kind of watching or what have you. Uh, but if I'm a recruit, what would you say to me right now? What are you looking for here at Bethune-Cookman
What's the
University in a
pitch?
player? Yeah,
Well, obviously, it's three things. I mean, you have to be a solid student. I'm not saying you have to be straight A's, because we have a academic game plan for success. So if you get here, we're going to end up increasing your GPA is shown. You got to have good character. And then obviously you got to be able to play, and if you come in raw, we got to be able to take you to that next level. And that's with the strength part, that's with coaching. And if you have those three, you can be a BCU Wildcat.
amen. Now, for the persons who are already Bethune-Cookman Wildcats, we're talking about the fan base. What is your what would you like to say to the fan base? How can we help you, Coach?
Supporting, I mean, any way possible. It doesn't necessarily have to be monetary. It could be just showing up and showing that these players, you love them, you encourage them. I mean, I have to take my hats off to Nakia Glenn and Betty Goodwin for starting that adopted Wildcats.
Yes,
That means so much to these players. I mean, just seeing them, when they're getting ready to leave, the ATC over at the pack, or just being outside waving to them when we get on the bus, getting ready to go to the airport, just seeing them in the stands, just doing all those type of things as far as just supporting. And that's a huge, huge deal. And I appreciate the fan base, for doing things that they are doing, to help support these, student athletes, cookouts, and, all of those little things help. And it's all about the BCU family, and I'm excited. We want those stands to be filled every home game. I mean, obviously we went, 5-0 at home, and that was because of the fans, and the
definitely.
band, and that those guys, took ownership and said, they're not gonna have nobody come in their house and beat them. And you hear them talking about that, and that's a big contributor to the fan base.
Most definitely.
Yeah, somebody in the comments said this is from somebody you probably know. Travis Rowland says, "Send Coach that money because the portal
That's
is
my
king."
guy.
So listen,
Yeah.
send them the money. You listen, y'all can go and buy them drinks and get 'em cookies and all that stuff. But listen, the team needs some money. We
Yeah.
need some money.
It's a day
Yeah,
of giving too.
they're
Yeah.
giving right.
Let it start today.
Yeah, well, and Travis, no, I mean, obviously it takes more than that, but it is what it is. You guys know what it takes. The majority of people know what it takes, and it takes a lot. And I think we're on the right track. So
Yeah,
when you see growth, then that's when people do more, right?
it's true.
So
Most definitely.
it's
It's true.
yeah, it's all on me. as a head coach and the coaches and obviously to put a good product out there. So I feel like we could put a good product and the future is bright.
It is, and I always say winning cures a lot of ills, right? You
Yes,
start to win games, and then people say, "All right, I can get behind this." You wish it wasn't like that, and you wish people supported even when times were bad. But our human nature, we just it's like you got to show us first before we open our pocketbooks and wallets and start buying.
that's right. That,
So
yeah, and I agree with that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's cool. Is any other questions, Daryl? And I want to make sure I'm respecting the coach's time because look, you
Yeah,
need to
most
go. You
definitely.
got to go finish your recruiting.
Yes.
Steven, we're riding off a high, won the classic, had a great season.
Yeah.
I think we need to send the fan base off into the holiday with a great chant from Coach Woodie. I feel that would I know he did it for the football team, but
He
I
putting you
want
on
to
the
ask
spot,
him
coach.
who the best?
What's that?
Who the
Who-
best?
We are.
Who the best?
We are
High five.
high.
My God. That's all I wanted to do.
Yes.
That's all I wanted to do, guys.
Man,
Yeah.
every time we see the video of you in the locker room, coach, listen, we fired up, man. We fired up. And listen, I was going to embarrass you a little bit because there's a clip after Evan scored that touchdown of you catching the Holy Ghost down there on the sideline. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, there's a clip of you down there hopping down that sideline like you was, filled with the Holy Spirit. And I was gonna bring it in here, but I said, I ain't gonna do coach like that.
Steve,
Well,
and he called
I'm a
his,
man of faith.
yeah,
I'm a man
he
of
called
faith. So it's
himself
a
Steven. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Coach, man, listen. I thank you for your time. I thank you for taking some time to come and talk to us and come and talk to the family and come and talk to Wildcat Nation. Remarkable rebound year, and we're all rooting for you. We
Thank
hope
you.
not. We hope the future is bright. We know the future is bright because we got good
There we go.
leadership, all up and down. And so we thank you, wishing you the best of luck tomorrow on signing day. Wishing you the best of luck in the off season and recruiting. And we know you're gonna do the thing, man, because you're showing us that you're the guy. So we appreciate you and thank you for your time. And you open invite to come back anytime. You just let us know, and we gonna set it up.
Thanks so much, Steve, and obviously, Darren for conversing, with
Anytime,
me, and
coach.
it means a lot, to speak to the nation, this BCU nation here, and that's what I want. I want you all to come around, and I've never been that type of person that shun people away, and I just think it means so much to the program, for our alumni, family, friends, to just stop by, and just say hello and shake those young men's hand and just help, and we need the help, and I'm excited. We all excited.
Absolutely, absolutely, Coach. Well, thank you for your time, man. Till
Thank
next
you.
time, brother. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Take care.
All righty.
Yes,
Have a
sir.
good night, coach. Thank
All right.
you. Hail
All right. You
Wildcats.
here, Wildcats.
All right. That was cool, man. Coach is great. Good,
Yeah.
just good spirits, man. I think I'm excited to see how recruiting after a decent year looks, right? Because we've had to recruit after poor years. So now I'm wondering how it's going to be after we kind of made a little noise. And honestly, I mean, you take away Miami and FIU, right? That's a
Right.
that's a 6-4, right? That's not a bad.
It is.
Yeah,
It
we
is.
overwent. We're over 500, so that's cool, man. Um,
I mean,
what's your
are
thoughts?
you could have also played you also played two teams who could be the national champions for
Right, right,
HBCU football.
right,
You
right.
know, South Carolina State will have a chance at it, and if by chance Jackson gets by, Prairie View this weekend, then
Yeah, yeah, man.
yeah,
Yeah, well. Listen, I got to get to some other news that I'm pretty
For
sure
sure,
you don't
man.
want to be a part of, but at the same time, I appreciate you because you helped me get this set up today. So shout out to Darrell Williams, Hell Wildcats Gridiron Show, our best friends. They are on Thursday nights, and so if you
Yes,
guys
sir.
want to know what's what, signing day is tomorrow. So I assume you guys are going live Thursday.
We will be live Thursday and recap signing day tomorrow and help keep on building the steam for more to come. There's a lot more exciting things happening for Bethune-Cookman football and
Definitely.
Bethune-Cookman as a whole.
Absolutely, absolutely. So y'all, so everybody else, if you stay with me, I didn't do any of the news. Uh, Daryl, thank you, my brother. We gonna
Thank you,
wrap,
sir.
man.
God bless,
All right.
man. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, I got the wrong camera up here, y'all. We got a few things to get to that I normally would have done at the top of the show, but I wanted to make sure we got as much time as possible with Coach Woodie. So I'll get through this as quick as possible. Um, Again, this is where I got cut. I didn't even get to do the real MVP. So for those of you that are watching, number one, make sure you subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. But also, if you would like to become a contributor to the show, become a real MVP, you can do so by hitting our Cash App down below. And let me tell you what this is for. It's not just to, it's not a, it's a love offering for the platform because we are grassroots. We don't have a budget. We don't have big donors, right? Everything we do it out of a labor of love. So we sometimes need some help financially to keep the lights on, so to speak. So become a real MVP. Theron, Adrian, Eric, Lewis, Angelina, Isaac, William, Marcy, Ashley, Vernon, and we had an anonymous donation. I thank you all from the bottom of my heart for the support that you've shown this show. Really, a lot of you over the course of the year, and you guys, some of you, every single week that we've been on, you guys are submitting contributions to the show, and that does not go unnoticed, and it is necessary, and yes, we need it. So thank you. No matter how big, small, it helps us in the long run. Um, Other ways you can support the show: subscribe into our channels, follow us on our social channels, and then make sure that you contribute if you would like to do so. So let's get to some news. I wanted to get through that really quick. Dad Giving is going on, and I wanted to start with this, but um, just because of the way the show lined up, I wasn't able to. But Dev Giving is going on right now. So if you haven't had a chance to donate to the school while we're on the subject of giving, please make sure because they send out these really nice mailers today. Let me see if I can change my screen so y'all can see it. They sent out these mailers today. The Be One of 1,000 campaign, and so I just showed y'all my address. My bad. Um, what y'all want to do is make a donation to the school. It doesn't matter how big or how small. But I think the school is in a position now where again, it literally is all of us all in. We don't want to we don't we want to be self-sufficient from a financial standpoint. And there are some schools that are able to do that because they have strong alumni bases that give continuously, and it's not one or two people like carrying the load for everybody. It's like everybody, literally all of us doing a little bit. And so if we can get everybody to do their thing with respect to giving by way of giving day, go ahead, shoot the school a donation. um, as when this call ends, I'm going to do it. I hadn't had a chance to stop and do it today, but I think it's a big deal that number one, we increase our giving rate from an alumni standpoint. I don't know where it is now, and it's probably time for us to have um, somebody from alumni affairs or institutional advancement, which I think is Dr. Brown, but to talk to see where we are from a giving standpoint because I'm interested. Um, but they have given today. It's ending at obviously at like midnight. And let me go to the comments, man. Let's see. Let me see. So, Dr. Evans says, "Win, lose, or draw, we will support our Wildcats." Absolutely, and some of y'all, I saw, the comments were coming in faster than I could see them, so I appreciate y'all for still, rocking in the comments. Congratulations, Coach, and thank you, Steve and Daryl, for a good season. Yeah, it was a great season. And who is this? Well, that's Rhett. He said, I believe recruiting will be better because of the exposure of the band and winning that classic. I agree. My dog Rhett. How you doing, brother? Um, so yeah. And so also in the news, but before we kind of wrap this thing up, I don't know if y'all seen this story today, but Seven Streeter, the big R&B producer songwriter, um, is a Wildcat apparently because she is joining the institution by way of BCU Global. And I don't know if you guys remember, but they launched BCU Global back in like late October, early November. And it's essentially Cookman's online school. And so the program gives you the ability to obtain your degree 100% online. And so they are still accepting applications. And so, yeah, if this is one of those things that it's been on your heart to go back to school, there is still time for you to sign up. You can go to cookman.edu, and then I think there's a couple of things on the homepage that will direct you to BCU Global. Go ahead and, you know, um, sign up, apply, make sure you're good, and, give yourself a legitimate shot to either increase your net worth or give you some higher standing in your business practices or whatnot. So the great story about Seventh Street is she's now a third generation Wildcat. So I think her mom and her grandmother all went with them cooking, which is amazing. So she's like, look, Mama did it, Grandma did it. I'm gonna go ahead and do it too. And so the only way this is possible is through an online program because she tours, and she doesn't even live in Florida. She lives out in California, and so it's been a really big deal for her. And again, this is almost like a case study on how impactful a program can be like this to anybody. If a person like Seven Streeter can take the time to earn her degree online, and regular people that aren't touring the world and writing music for big time artists, we should be able to find the time to do the thing as well. So big shout out to Seven. And I think she's done a couple of concerts on campus as well for like homecoming and stuff. So she's locked in with Bethune-Cookman, like even before this. She's been pretty locked in. So shout out to her. And then lastly, another one. Have y'all seen that the classic is probably moving for at least a year next year? I think that they have pitched the idea of classic moving to UCF's stadium. I forget the name of it. Somebody may know it in the comments. But yeah, it'll be moving to UCF's football stadium in 2026, which will be kind of a different, probably a much different vibe, because I don't know that we'll have the same kind of setup, and the stadium's different. So it'll be interesting to see the two fan bases and the two schools in another location. Considering that it's been in Camping World Stadium, but it's a Citrus Bowl for 30 something years now, which it'll be neat. So I don't know if that's been finalized yet, but the renovation plans for Camping World, I think those have been finalized and got renderings and drawings and stuff. So they're going under renovation again, and so I guess they're gonna have to find a way to still make the money off the classic and all that good stuff. So somebody said the Bounce House. Yeah, I think that's the nickname, but I feel like it has like an official like Camping World or like Amway or something like that. But I don't know. So yeah. Somebody said BCU Global sounds great. Yes, Mr. Hunt, it is great. It is great. So I think y'all listen. I think we're gonna end a little bit earlier tonight, unless y'all got some other things to talk about. We're about 10 minutes ahead of schedule. I was really worried about not being able to get to Coach Woodie and give him enough time. So I just jumped into the show feet first. So some of y'all, I saw some people were like, I'm late. No, you wasn't late. We just like got right to it within the first 10 minutes or so. So it's all good, man. Yeah, I think I'm good, y'all. So we're gonna round out. I think we may go live next week, and that'll be our last one. And that's just depending on like what lies ahead with school news and things. And if it ends up being a slow week, this might be the last week. Listen, last week I was gone. Me and my family, we was out at Disney and Universal last week. We missed Classic, but we came that next week, and I had the time of my life. I don't know if y'all ride roller coasters, but somebody said, am I opening the phone tonight? No, I'm not opening the phone tonight, Michelle Holmes. No, I'm not. She want to call in and complain, so I'm not going to let her do it. But yeah, great. This year, from the summer to hiring Dr. Mosley up until now, being Classic, Bethune-Cookman has been on an absolute tear. And so, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next week or so. But if this is the last show, I think we had a good run. We'll start back in mid-January next year. And if something huge happens, we'll back next week. But if things kind of go like they are and things are kind of quiet, I'll let y'all know via social. Y'all will know. I won't keep y'all in the dark too much. But yeah, it's been a great run, and I got a baby girl. My daughter Savannah is turning 12 on Saturday. Is Saturday the 6th or was it Friday? Yeah, I think it's Saturday. But I want y'all to wish little Savannah a happy birthday. That's what we'll be doing this weekend. And listen, I thank y'all for a great year. If this is the last one, y'all have supported me, supported the platform, everything we tried to do. We've got some big plans for the first part of the year, especially in the spring. Keep your eyes peeled for that. And yeah, I'm thankful for y'all. This has been such a fun ride. And yeah, I think it's time to go ahead and end it on that note. Again, I will let y'all know for sure if we are going to have a show next week. But in the meantime, I think that's it. Who is that? Listen, Bake, I got you. I got you, brother. I have not forgot. I got to call Stephen Baker. Y'all remind me to call Stephen Baker. Yeah, thank y'all so much, man. That's it. Hail Wildcats, great season. I will see y'all on the other side, and I will keep y'all updated on next week. All right, love y'all. Peace.